Hey there guys, welcome back to ARTFX Studios and you're watching a new kind of video. This is the compressor test. In this kind of video I'm going to do a weekly test of a compressor plugin and I'm going to show you how they sound on the exact same source material. So I've got 3 audio files right here. I've got 2 different drum breaks. It's actually the same beat but played by a different kit. And I've also got an example of a full track. I'm gonna put a compressor on these and I'm gonna show you how the compressor sounds. Each individual episode of this series is gonna cover one particular plugin, one particular compressor. I might actually do other dynamics processes as well in the future, but for now I want to look into the Ableton Live native compressor. So the first drum break I've got is this one. It's an acoustic drum kit, a pretty big sounding one. I'm gonna add the Ableton Live compressor and I'm gonna apply some transparent compression to this. Now all these audio files are normalized to 0 dB, so it's really easy for you to hear the difference. And I'm gonna set a ratio of 4:1, which means we're gonna have, if we go 4 dB over a threshold, we're gonna get 1 dB that's actually gonna go over the threshold after the compression is being applied. For some transparent compression we want a pretty slow attack so we can let the transients come through, and I want a pretty fast release. Now let's bring down the threshold to -20 dB and I'm gonna turn off the makeup gain. Now we have actually we're getting some compression. I'm gonna take off the knee. You can see what's happening. I'm also going to bring this up with 1 dB. Okay, it's becoming a little bit more compressed. The hi-hats are coming up ever just slightly. It's really subtle. That's why I would actually advise you to listen on headphones or on mono speakers. Now I'm gonna try out -30 dB on the threshold and see how that's gonna sound. Let's try -25. So with transparent compression, I don't know, it sounds good, but it's really subtle, and as soon as you bring it lower than -25 dB on the threshold, it starts to really distort. Now I'm going to duplicate this one and I'm going to turn this one off, and now we're going to see, let's see how this sounds with a little bit more of an aggressive compression style. I'm going to set my ratio to 10:1. So that's where we're gonna get much more compression that way. I'm gonna bring the attack down all the way, and I'm gonna bring the release up to 12.5 milliseconds. The threshold is gonna go to -30, and let's see how this sounds. Okay. Let's bring this up. So you can hear how that really makes a really big difference. This is a nice aggressive compression style. We call this New York style compression. You can see I'm playing around with the dry wet. Now, I had it originally at 50. Maybe at 41 or 40 might be better. But I like it. It sounds really good. This is the other drum rig. It's a little bit smaller. Now if I apply the transparent compression to this, you can hear that the rides are becoming a little bit more upfront. And the tail of the snare comes up front a little bit more as well. It's good. Now let's see how the compression sounds under a little bit more aggressive setting. So that makes a significant difference. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Now let's see how this compressor works on a full mix. This track has been released on Digital Womp Records. It's a track that I produced, and I'm just gonna see if I can show you a little bit how this might sound. This is without any compression.
But now let me tell you the things you don't get hot. They gon' get funky.
Let's set a ratio of 4:1. And let's take a really long attack time, 60 milliseconds, so we can really have that drum sponge through and all the transients are being unaffected. I'm gonna do 10 millisecond release. And let's bring down that threshold. Don't forget to turn off the makeup gain. I'm gonna set this to -20. And let's bring this up with 2 dB. No knee. Okay, this makes a pretty big difference. I want you to listen to the drums, especially the snare. This is without the compression. And do you hear how that snare almost becomes a little bit distorted? Like it's not punching through the mix that well. Now, I'm adding the compressor and listen to the snare. The snare becomes much more isolated this way, and it helps to, well yeah, it just helps to make the drums sound a bit better. Everything between the drums is also being raised in volume. It's getting a little bit louder as well. The end result just sounds louder. So yeah, that's it. I think the Ableton Live compressor is a pretty good all-round compressor. It definitely sounds good on both drums, but also in a full mix. But I'm gonna show you next week that there's a whole bunch of other compressors as well that are just as interesting. And I think that you should, if you have multiple compressor plugins, you should learn how they work and how they sound, because sometimes you need a compressor that not only compresses the sound, but also warms things up. Now, then you need to know what compressor does that. Now, the Ableton Live native compressor doesn't do any coloring kind of thing. It's just a compressor, and it's a pretty damn good one as well, but we're gonna show you that there's a whole bunch of other ones. Next week, we're gonna show you the Ableton Live glue compressor, and after that, I'm just gonna dive into a whole bunch of other compressor plugins as well. Now, to finish this video, please keep on liking, subscribing, following, and everything you need to do on all of these social media profiles that are in the screen right now. You guys are really helping me to grow a lot, and that really means a lot to me. I want to thank you for that. And if you want to see more of these kind of things, if you want to learn more, talk to other producers, whatever, you can go to my website, which is www.artfx-studios.com. On there you can find a forum, you can find a whole bunch of other producers as well. Now, if you want to chat with me and other producers in one big Skype chat room, you can add me on Skype, which is ARTFX Studios, one word. Just add me on Skype and ask me to put you in the music production chat group. So yeah, that was it for this week's video, and I hope to see you back in next week's compressor test. Peace.